Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, I am 22 years old and have been Muslim now for just over 3 years. I'm approaching my third Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make me able to receive the blessings of this month and benefit from it. Ameen. I am of French, Russian, and Irish descent. My family has been citizens of Canada since the early 1800s. I mean, I've got pictures of my grandpa in the Yukon with the dog sled and the gold rush, and my mom's side of the family as farmers in Saskatchewan, cool Russian farmers. Neither of my parents is Muslim or overly religious, but my mother thinks she is, although she's not a practicing Christian. I was raised with a good understanding of Baptist, Catholic, and Pentecostal Christianity, and expressed interest in none of the previous, being also interested in what some might call ancient history, meaning Babylonian, Roman, English history. And my father, possibly a toss-up between agnostic and an atheist, encouraged this route for me. As I, knowing what I did from history, I did not trust any source of the Bible to be complete and unaltered as a historical and literary text. And I always joked with my father that if I should convert to anything, it would be Judaism. He promised me nothing would make him think I had gone more on the wrong path than if I were to suddenly become religious and do something crazy, like wear a face veil. But I despaired of the racial tribal focus of Judaism and always loved the message of Jesus alayhi wasalam, even if I did not trust the writings of those that wrote about him and his sunnah, his example. So I found more truth in spirituality in paganism. Paganism could be historically researched, it still pervades our daily life, like Christmas, Valentine's Day, Halloween, etc. I couldn't truly be a detached atheist whose very belief system contradicts itself. I mean, if you believe in nothing, you still believe in something. So I turned to the broad scope of paganism to seek some holiness independently, since there was no valid message to give myself guidance and hope and surety at the time. So came Islam. It happened that I read a translation of the Holy Quran when I was around 12 years old. I mean, it's on the list of the greatest books ever written. So I knew before 9/11 that Islam had nothing to do with terrorism, but nothing from that translation of the Quran spoke to me but the beginning of every chapter, the words that read, "In the name of God, the compassionate and merciful." The rest of the translation fell flat. Well then, besides a few practicing Muslims they only fasted Ramadan, really. I did not encounter Islam again until a vacation to the Sultanate of Oman, where I heard the call to prayer in the Masjid, and it was the most beautiful sound I had ever heard, and I felt it was speaking right to me. I didn't understand a word, but I comprehended the meaning. And from then on, I did not focus on the Muslims, which were human and fallible, but the message. I felt sure I was a Muslim, but I was like, my God, I can't do this. Do you see me? I'm the last person on earth anyone would ever think would become a Muslim. I work in fashion. I travel independently as a volunteer. I need to dress and go wherever I choose, and I don't need a man. So I got myself a copy of the Quran, a fair translation, and I tried to disprove the religion with science and history and psychology, and the more I did so, the more I knew it was the truth. The Quran accounts the history of the expansion of the universe, the shape and rotation of the earth, the atom, the formation of the child in the womb. It gave women the rights to vote and own their own property. The Prophet ﷺ took a woman's bayah in a way Western culture had not. Women in my country did not have the right to vote until after 1917. And in the 1950s, my aunt had to fight for the right to have her own bank account independent of her husband. I encountered this religion on a holiday in the Gulf where I meant only to go shopping and swim at the beach, and I came home knowing that there was a religion that actually documented all the beliefs I had already ever had, such as women being equal to men, that races and nations weren't important, and about how women should be treated in society, but had no idea someone had already had those ideas beside me, enough to write them down. So you know when something is the truth. You can't just believe in it in secret. It'll tear you up that way. So I had to live it. Live what I knew was the only right way for me to live my life. So I made my shahada. Said some words to testify my beliefs aloud in the airport before I left customs, and came home and became a Muslim. And someone, a Muslim in a soccer pitch, helped me say my shahada in Arabic. My poor dad. May Allah wa ta'ala guide him. Thank you.